Shalom, Wabaraka, Mispaka, peace and blessings, family. In this video, I will be talking about vows, oaths, and promises unto the Most High. And the moral of this topic is you must be very careful what you say to the Most High and be very mindful to it may slip out of your mouth, because you can joke around with your friends and family and they'll joke back. But if you joke around with the Creator, He will not joke back, because His thoughts are much higher than our thoughts, and His ways are much higher than our ways. And it's time we understand this. And this message is coming with all seriousness from the Most High. So, we're going to start off in the book of Wiraqua, chapter 5, verse 4. It says, "Or if a soul swear, pronouncing with his lips to do evil or to do good, whatsoever it be, that man shall pronounce with an oath. And if it be hid from him," that means if he forgets, I forgot. And it be hid from him, and when he knoweth of it, which means when he remembers, then he shall be guilty of one of these things. So that says, if you make a vow to the Most High Yah and you happen to forget the vow you made, you are still guilty of breaking the vow, because that tells the Most High you simply do not care, and you spoke vainly unto the Most High, and the Most High is against vain words. So you're still guilty because you don't care. You didn't care about the vow you made. Okay? So let's go on. Now we're in the book of Wayadabar, chapter 30 and verse 2. "If a man vow a vow unto Hayah, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth." So it says that if you make any vow, no matter what you say, you should not break your vow. Especially when you vow on a vow to the Most High, you should not break that vow. See, it doesn't tell you what the Most High would do to you if you do break the vow, but I'll tell you this. I have made many vows to the Most High before I came to this truth, and I break probably half of those. Like, I remember way before I came to the truth, it was like the day before Christmas. I was praying, I was like, "God, please give me a PlayStation 3 60 for Christmas, and I will respect my mom forever and ever and ever." And I got the PlayStation. Y'all didn't give me the PlayStation because y'all doesn't care about Christmas at all. He hates Christmas. But my mom bought me the Xbox 360 for Christmas the next day. And the next day after that, I talked back to her, disrespected her again. So, yeah, I broke many vows. And I'm just happy that the Most High still allowed me to have breath in my lungs and blood in my veins today. Because I really don't deserve that, the things I used to do. But all praise to the Most High. You never know. He may punish you. He may kill you. He can do whatever you want. But you must know that when you make a vow to the Most High, do not break it. Okay? Especially if you're watching this video right now, you have no excuse. Because since you're watching this video now you know. Now you know right from wrong. Okay? So, no matter what you said, you have to keep it. You can say, "Y'all, if I achieve this or if I achieve that, I'm going to give all my money to that homeless man up the street." Okay, and then y'all is like, "Hey, that's a nice thing to do." And then he lets you achieve it, and then guess what? You have to give all your money to that homeless man that lives up the street. And you can't say, "Oh, y'all, I have to pay the rent. I have to feed my family. I have to provide for my kids." You can't do that, because you should have thought about that before you started speaking vainly unto the Most High. Since you said you was going to give all your money to that homeless man who live up the street, you got to give all your money to that homeless man who live up the street. Because you said it to y'all. And you cannot take your words back. Okay? You should not break your word. Now let's talk about the vow of a Nazarite. Okay? The vow of a Nazarite is one of the most popular vows in the Bible, especially dealing with, Israelites, I should say, something like that. Let's go to the book of Weadabar, chapter 6, and verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when either man or woman shall separate themselves to vow a vow of a Nazarite, to separate themselves unto hire. Verse 3, he shall separate himself from wine and from strong drink, and shall drink no vinegar of wine or vinegar of strong drink. Neither shall he drink any liquor of grapes, nor eat any moist grapes or dry. So when you make the vow of a Nazarite, if you make the vow of a Nazarite, because you do not have to, it's all up to you. If you make the vow of a Nazarite, and see, the first thing you got to know is you cannot drink any alcoholic beverages. Okay, no liquor, no alcohol, no wine, none of that. Okay, no beer. Verse 4. All the days of his separation shall he eat nothing that is made of the vine tree, from the kernels even to the husk. The second thing you got to know is you cannot eat anything that comes from a vine tree. Okay, verse 5. And all the days of the vow of his separation, there shall no razor come upon his head until the days be fulfilled, in which he separateth himself unto hire. He shall be holy and shall let the locks of his head grow. So, verse 5 is telling you that if you make the vow of a Nazarite, the next thing you need to know is, if I wanted to make the vow of a Nazarite for 5 years or 4 years or 3 years or even 2 years or 1 year, you cannot cut any of the hair off your head. You cannot give yourself a line up or an edge up, trim nothing off your beard, trim nothing off your locks, none of that. You have to let your hair grow. Okay? Let's read verse 7. It says, he shall not make himself unclean he shall not make himself unclean for his father or for his mother, for his brother or for his sister when they die, because the consecration of God is upon his head. So you're not supposed to touch a family member when they die if you make the vow of a Nazarite, because the consecration of God is upon his head. Now, the Hebrew word for God is El, E-L, and it means power, basically. And when you grow your locks, you get power, simply. The dreadlocks is the only hairstyle mentioned in the Bible. It's the only hairstyle mentioned in the Bible. You won't find a fade or a mohawk or whatever you got. Dreadlocks the only one. Israel is a powerful nation. Why King Solomon had so much economic power and social power? How come he was the richest man, and also he could get whatever woman he wanted? Literally had hundreds of wives. And Song of Solomon chapter 5 verse 11 will tell you that he had locks that were black and bushy as a raven. So why did Samson have the ability to just break someone's jaw with a single flick? He had so much physical brute strength. Locks are powerful. The consecration of God, the consecration of power is upon your head. So, and the thing is, if you keep reading, it'll tell you this. If you break the vow of Nazarite, then guess what you would have to do? You would have to cut all your locks off of your head. You would have to cut all your locks off of your head. And you could say bye to all of that. Not only your locks, but your beard as well. You have to cut all of that off on the Sabbath day. Okay? You would have to cut all that beautiful power off your head. Imagine having that beautiful power going on your head for 5 or 6 years, and it's just a part of you now. But you decided to forget, or you forgot, or you just decided to break the vow. You decided to give yourself a line up. Oh, I just want to look good, man. See, I gotta go on a date. Let me get myself a line up. I want to look a little sexy. The Most High ain't dealing with that. Just cut it off. Just cut it off, because the Most High ain't dealing with you no more. Just cut it off. He ain't dealing with you no more. You made a vow to him that you was gonna separate yourself. Yet you decided to be careless and cut off your hair. This is what's gonna happen to you. You're gonna have to cut it off.
Guess who's coming to dinner? Oh,
So we talked about forgetting vows. We talked about breaking vows. But here's one thing that you also shouldn't do. You shouldn't make outright stupid vows. You shouldn't make a stupid vow either. Because 9 times out of 10, if you make a dumb vow, you're just not going to keep it. Let's keep it real. You're just not going to keep it. Unless you are a righteous man like Jephthah. Jephthah was righteous, but I don't think he was too smart. He was righteous. He was keeping the Most High's laws and stuff, but I don't think he was too smart because he sure did make a dumb vow. And let's look in the book of Judges, chapter 11 and verse 30. And Jephthah vowed a vow unto Hiah, and said, If thou shalt without fail deliver the children of Ammon into my hands. So it's saying, if Israel with me defeat the Ammonites, then it shall be that whatsoever cometh forth of the doors of my house to meet me, when I return in peace from the children of Ammon, shall surely be yours, and I will offer it up for a burnt offering. So he's saying, if I beat the Ammonites in battle, then whatever walks through the door of my house, I will offer it unto you. I'm not even lying. I will offer it. I will sacrifice it. Okay. And verse 32. So Jephthah passed over unto the children of Ammon to fight against them, and Hiah delivered them into his hands. So basically, Jephthah went and fought against the Ammonites. And basically, y'all allowed Jephthah to whoop the mess out of the Ammonites. Like, literally beat the crap out of them. Like, they were, like, just out. They were just, it was like Mayweather versus McGregor with them things. And those Ammonites just lost. Okay? Verse 33. And he smote them from Aror, even till thou come to Minnith, even 20 cities, and unto the plain of the vineyards, with very great slaughter. Thus the children of Ammon were subdued before the children of Israel. So basically, the Israelites won against the Ammonites. So he said, okay, if I win against the Ammonites, I will sacrifice whatever walks through my door. So guess what he has to do? He has to sacrifice the first thing that walks through his door. So Jephthah came to Mizpah unto his house, and behold, his daughter came out to meet with him, with timbrels and with dances, and she was his only child. Beside her he had neither son nor daughter. Verse 35. And it came to pass, when he saw her, that he rent his clothes, and said, Alas, my daughter, thou hast brought me very low, and thou art one of them that trouble me. For I have opened my mouth unto Hiah, and I cannot go back. So basically, he had to sacrifice his daughter. His daughter was the first one walking through the house door. And he said, whoever walks through my door, I will sacrifice. The first person who walked through my door, I will sacrifice them. If I win against the Ammonites, which he did. He beat the crap out of the Ammonites. So this is basically what happened. Y'all, if I defeat these Ammonites, I promise, whatever walks through my door, I will sacrifice. Next thing you know, he beats the crap out of the Ammonites, go back home, and then his daughter walks through the door. Father, I'm glad you're back. You're the best dad ever. I love you so much. I'm glad to have a dad who can fight just like you. Well, daughter, I'm sorry. I have to kill you now. That's how it was. Seriously. And I feel bad for both Jephthah and his daughter. Imagine how he must have had to feel. I should have specified. I should have said whichever animal walks through my door. Why did I say whatever walks through my door when I could have said whatever animal? But he had to sacrifice his daughter because he didn't specify. Like I said, you have to be very mindful of what slips out of your mouth because it's not a game when dealing with the Most High. You know, he could have said, y'all, I don't want to sacrifice my daughter. Not my daughter. I mean like an animal. But no, Jephthah was righteous. So he kept his promise that he made, and he had to do what he said. So that was the one good thing about the situation. He did it, but his daughter still had to die. And that's simply because he made a vow unto the Most High. And don't say, see, you can make a human sacrifice. Then they'll go all into, Jesus in the New Testament and talk about Jesus was a human sacrifice. And you people talk about, oh, Jesus was our sacrifice and blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? What your God, Jesus, did on the cross, that was not a sacrifice. That was actually him being crucified. That was not a sacrifice because guess what? A sacrifice has to be burnt. You have to put them on an altar, and the smoke has to go up, and the Most High has to say it was a sweet savor. It has to be a sweet savor unto the Most High in order for it to actually be a sacrifice. Because the Most High sitting there watching someone die is not enough. He has to actually smell it. It has to be a sweet savor. That's why the smoke goes up toward the heavens. It doesn't drip down toward the ground. So that's not even a real sacrifice. Being cut up and whipped, that's not a sacrifice. Starving to death, that's not a sacrifice. So you can keep saying Jesus is my sacrifice. No, man. I'm going to deal with this later. But, shalom wa baraka mispaka.